An employment contract in China should include at a minimum the following contents.
This is Complex Made Easy with Dezan Shira Associates in partnership with Laytons ETL.
An employment contract in China should include at a minimum the following contents. The information of both the employer and employee. Term of employment contract, that is to say from when to when the employee will be working for the employer. Employee's duties, such as his or her position and what he or she, his or her function will be. Location where the employee is required to work. It can be flexible based on the employee's duties. For example, an employee working as a buyer for the procurement team at a British invested company in China, who will travel regularly to visit various suppliers. You will then be able to include the main place of work with the inclusion that the employee will be required to travel. Work hours, rest days, and leave days. Remuneration. When stipulating the salary amount in the employment contract, please remember to specify whether the amount is gross or net. If it is the gross amount, normally such amount will be subject to deduction of individual income tax, IIT, and social insurance premium. If it is the net amount, you must ensure that the employee will receive the amount after deducting IIT and social insurance premium. Social Security. We cover social insurance in part 1 of this series. We will include a link to the part 1 for your reference. Labor protection, work conditions, and occupational hazard prevention and protection. This part normally stipulates that the employer will apply and implement special work protection rules for female employees and underage people. It is also common to include regular training regarding work security and protection. Additionally, but optionally, both parties can agree on probational period, training, confidentiality, supplementary insurance, other welfare, and incentives, and then stipulate these terms and conditions into the employment contract.
The first piece of information the employer is required to give the employee is who they are, their identity. Is it a company? Is it a sole trader? Is it a partnership? To whom has the employee got legal recourse? Well-drafted contracts of employment will always set out the details of a company, for example, its registered number at the company's house, and obviously the employee's full name and their address. The next piece of information, of course, that an employee requires is a start date. When is that employee going to start their employment? When does the employer require them to attend their place of work? Then there is the issue of continuity of employment. Now, contracts are frequently updated, changed, revised to take into account new laws and new regulations and new policies. And so a new contract might be issued, but the continuity of employment reflects the first day on which the employee has actually started employment. And that's quite important because continuity of employment provides that certain statutory rights are available to employees, for example, redundancy, which kicks in, and the entitlement to redundancy payment, which kicks in at the 2-year mark.
If you want to learn more about employment contracts in China and the UK, reach us at uk.ireland@dezshira.com. The UK and Ireland desk at Dezan Shira Associates assists British businesses with market entry, legal, finance and HR in Asia. To stay up to date with the latest investment news into Asia, visit and subscribe to asiabriefing.com.